When many things are changing at once, it's easy to believe that you are losing focus. But what if you are not losing focus at all? What if something deeper is reorganizing? This teaching and meditation are here to support you in holding your center, while the old rearranges and the new has not yet taken form. You don't need to know what comes next. You only need to stay with yourself while it unfolds. Welkom bij InnerSource Teachings. My name is Patricia and today I am your guide. You have arrived in a space where nothing needs to be solved and nothing needs to be rushed. This month, we are exploring what it means to listen, not to the noise around us, but to the quieter movement within ourselves. Things of change often comes with many sensations at once. Thoughts may scatter, emotions may rise and fall, clarity may feel close one moment and very distant the next. And here we are not trying to control that process. Instead, we are learning how to stay connected to ourselves while life is shifting. This space is an invitation to slow down, to listen more honestly, and to discover that focus does not come from effort, but from presence in the now. So let this meet you exactly where you are. No pressure, no conclusions required. The teaching of today is holding focus in times of change. When many things begin to shift at once, the first thing most people lose is the focus. Not because they are incapable, but because the system is processing more information than usual. Change, especially inner change, does not arrive in one clear line. It comes in waves from thoughts, emotions, physical sensations, memories, questions about safety, timing, and identity. All of these can surface simultaneously. This does not mean something is wrong. It means something is reorganizing inside our systems. So why is it that focus becomes difficult during changes? When an inner calling or a deep awareness emerges, the nervous system often responds before the mind can make sense of it. The body asks, is it safe? What will change? And what might I lose? The mind tries to help by creating scenarios, plans, or explanations. This can feel like distraction, restlessness, or mental noise. But what is actually happening is integration. Your system is trying to understand how to stay oriented while something familiar is losing. Focus is not concentration. In times like this, many people try to regain focus by effort, trying to think clearly, trying to decide, or trying to calm themselves down. But true focus during changes does not come from control, it comes from presence. Focus is not narrowing your attention. It is staying connected to yourself while things are moving around us. This is why forcing clarity often backfires. Clarity follows presence, not the other way around. But what is the role of fear and resistance? Now, fear often appears when inner truth becomes visible, not because the truth is wrong, but because it challenges what is felt stable. Fear asks practical questions like, where will I belong? What will hold me? What if I choose wrong? Resistance is not an obstacle to be removed. It is information. It shows where attachment, protection, or old survival strategies are still active. Listening does not require you to obey fear, only to acknowledge it without letting it lead. And what about safety? Safety is an inner experience. One of the most important shifts during this process is the realization that safety is not created by external certainty. Safety is not found in a space, a role, a structure, or a future plan. Safety is an inner experience. It lives in your ability to stay present with yourself, even when you don't yet know what comes next. When this is felt, not understood but felt, the system softens. Not because everything is resolved, but because the body senses that it is not being abandoned. And what about awareness? Awareness comes before movement. Many people believe that once something becomes clear, action must follow immediately. But inner clarity does not demand urgency. Often, the most honest phase is stillness. A quiet internal decision. An alignment that happens inside first. A recognition of what is already true. Movement has its own timing. It does not need to be forced. Awareness reorganize life naturally, step by step. So do you have experiences with the awareness inside of you? How do you deal with this? Why holding focus really matters? Holding focus during change is not about staying productive or positive. It is about staying in relationship with yourself. When focus is present, emotions can move without feeling completely overwhelming. Thoughts can arise without taking everything over, and decisions can matter without pressure. You are no longer pulled in every direction. You are centered enough to listen. So if you are in a period where many things are shifting, you are not behind and you are not falling. And you do not need to figure everything out by yourself. Your only task is honesty. And honesty begins with listening. Focus is not something you achieve. It is something you return to. Again and again. All you have to do is listen to your inner system. This is why we work with meditations, reflections, and teachings together, not to provide answers, but to create space where your own inner knowledge can be heard. When you learn to hold focus in times of change, life does not become predictable, but it becomes trustworthy, and that is enough. Listening is not passive. It is the most honest form of participation in life.